We have with us Dr. Osamu Yamamoto from the Unison Capital in Japan. Thank you for taking our time to speak with us. You were talking about, gaps in private sector funding, especially when we talk about the Indo-Pacific strategy and the kind of investments that are still awaited and that have already been done. Tough negotiations happen behind all the conversation and policy-making decisions that we see in the end. Tell us about that, and are there any challenges, as you were pointing out?
My point is the following. Japan has a world's largest pension fund that has an asset of 1.8 trillion US dollar. That's a huge asset. But they have almost zero exposure in this region. And that's the gap I was talking about. And there's a gap, there's a reason. The reason is, my friend, they are the guardian of our pension. All the developed nations, including Japan, including Australia, New Zealand, they all have a huge pension asset. And they all have a very professional team. And since they are the guardian of your pension, my pension, they are very risk averse. So it's not that, they don't understand the narrative that the minister from Vietnam just shared with us. There's a huge need of capital in this region, period. But their profession is to save our pension.
And which sectors do you think need investment urgently at this point?
The infrastructure, that's for sure, okay? And that's an urgent need. But pension money cannot easily provide all those nations with those funds to strengthen your infrastructure. So that you talked about the risk-adjusted return. Risk-adjusted return is a buzzword for the pension asset owners. So there's a gap because there's a social impact clearly, but there's a lack of a risk-adjusted return. So the idea is let's have a discussion, okay, between the asset owners and the policymakers, and also for the MDBs. And MDB will have a huge role to bridge this gap, because MDB is a specialist and they know how to deal with infrastructure project, and they know how to make it bankable. We call it bankable. So in that case, huge asset can come in this region to enhance the infrastructure. That's my point that I was making.
We're partners in the Quad, and India and Japan have had historic ties as well, also crucial to the Indo-Pacific strategy. Moving forward, what more do India and Japan need to do in terms of increasing trade ties and perhaps moving beyond just their traditional sectors?
Thank you. I'm very optimistic on that perspective. Japan, India, Indo-Japan has a highest level G2G relationship, and we all know that. But the gap, once again, is a private sector. But in this case, private sector, both financial institution and also the Japanese corporates are now seeking India as a land of opportunity. That's for sure. So next 5 years, the foreign direct investment and the financial investment from Japan to India will be exponentially, increasing. That's my word for you, okay? And other than tradition, you are on the path of Make India, and that includes semiconductor, for example. We have a technology in Japan, but our market is saturated. Also, there's a geopolitical reason why they have to shift their manufacturing site to India. So that is going to happen as well.